Alright, listen up people. Today we are diving into one of the most interesting topics, Japanese salary. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, MALIBU Community College. I always welcome you if you are of interest in Japanese topic. If you intend to make money in Japan, today's video is gonna be so helpful for you. On this channel, I, Malibu, explain complex topics such as history, politics, economy, philosophy, literature, and social issues in a clear, entertaining, and easy to understand way. My style is similar to a university lecture, but much more engaging. I often use a whiteboard right here, expressive storytelling, and humor to keep my viewers interested. Because of my dynamic presentation and a wide range of subjects, I wanted to make my channel attract millions of viewers worldwide who want to learn while being entertained. That is the management philosophy of my channel. If you are all good with me, please stay tuned or I'll get you updated with the next chapter of the content. Okay? Enough intro. Now, let's begin. Now, for those who have worked in Japan, I have a quick question for you. Are you satisfied with your salary? Yes? Great. If not, then why don't Japanese salaries go up or why is it so cheap? Come on, we are one of the hardest working nations on earth, but somehow our paychecks haven't changed much in 30 years. Meanwhile, in the US, salary doubled. Germany, France, they are growing so fast. But look at Japan. Forever flat. Completely flat. Better yet, even this way. So, what's going on here? Today, I'll break it down into 3 simple chapters. And by the end, you'll understand why Japan got so stuck. Let's go. Chapter 1. Companies stopped growing. Here's the first reason. Japanese companies ain't growing. After the economic bubble burst in the 1990s, many companies shifted their mindset. Instead of trying to grow, they focused on cutting costs to survive. That includes, you guessed it, cutting wages. And because Japan still relies heavy on seniority-based system instead of performance pay. Even if the company makes money, employees do not see that reflected in their salaries. It's like running on a treadmill, working hard, going nowhere. Chapter 2. No job mobility and no competitions. The labor market is too rigid. In the Western countries, people switch jobs all the time. If you have skills, you can move to a new company that pays better. The competition naturally drives wages up. But in Japan, changing jobs still feels risky or even shameful. Loyalty is valued more than growth. So what happens? Companies know workers won't leave and they have no incentive to raise pay. On the top of that, Japan still values generalists. Yeah, people who can do a bit of everything instead of specialist with deep expertise. Instead of specialist with deep expertise. So even skilled workers often get paid the same as everyone else. That's crazy. Chapter 3. Government policies falling behind. And finally, the third reason. The government policies haven't caught up with reality. Remember Abenomics? Yes, it helped companies to make record profits, but instead of raising wages, those companies just saved the money, piling up internal reserves. Why? Because they don't trust the future. They are afraid of another crisis. Remember they had a pretty bad memory, like Lehman shocks in 2008, the Great East Japan earthquake in 2011. We lost thousands of jobs at the same time. The stupid global financial crisis screwed Japan, and as a result, we fell behind the economic competitions. Meanwhile, taxes and social insurance kept increasing. So even if you nominal salaries raise a bit, your take-home pay actually shrinks. I have outlined these 3 attributes on a whiteboard right here, but obviously, whatever solution we have, we need to do something, right? Companies need to invest in people, not just cut costs. Of course, it's important, but not always right. Workers need to upgrade their skills and being willing to move, and the government must modernize its tax and labor systems. We know they are right. Yeah, people keep saying we can't wait for Japan to change. We have to change ourselves first, or something like you can easily say. It's no longer a country that raises salary, but it's an era where you raise your own value. Well, even if I said so, some people might complain like, "Oh, Malibu, you are so smart. You are such an intelligent guy as Steve Jobs. You don't have to worry about anything. You are single and free, but I'm not. I gotta feed my kids or keep working hard day in and day out. I don't have time and something crappy like that." Overall, I guess most of people are thinking the same way like that. As a result, as a matter of fact, it's an excuse. Obviously, cheap excuse, buddy. Yeah, according to the National Tax Agency in 2023 private sector salary survey, the average annual income per salaried worker who was employed throughout the year is approximately 4.6 million yen. You think it's too cheap? By age group, the data shows the workers in their 20s earn about 3.6 million yen. Those in their 30s earn about 4.5 million yen. Those in their 40s earn about 5 to 5.2 million yen. And those aged 50 and above that earn about 6.07 million yen. The term average annual income often includes all types of employees, such as full-time employees, contract workers, and part-times. So the figure can vary greatly depending on employment type, industry, and job positions. In any case, the average annual income has remained the same ever since the bubble economy in the early 1990s. How could you get satisfied? Right? Then, what the hell is wrong with lifetime employment and seniority pay? Japan's old success model stopped us working. You've heard this before, right? Yeah, our company will take care of you for life. Your salary will increase with age. As you get aged, your position in your company, within your company, is so guaranteed. Sounds nice, right? It used to be a dream, but now the dream is turning into a trap. As for lifetime employment, security that kills motivation. Lifetime employment means the company will never fire you. Sounds great on paper, but here is a hidden cost. If you cannot get fired, you don't have to grow. And if you can't grow, the company stops challenging you. So both sides becomes a risk averse, afraid to change. In the US, performance equal to pay. In Japan, loyalty is equal to pay. That's why even if a young worker performs better, the senior employee still gets promoted first. Result: young talent loses motivation. Innovation disappears. You can't run 21st century economy with 20th century's rules. And as for a seniority system, equality that creates unfairness. Seniority based pay means as you age, your salary automatically goes up. Sounds fair, right? Actually, it's not. Let's see why. Problem one: talented young workers do not get rewarded. They think, why should I try harder if my pay won't change? And they leave. Problem two: older employees cost too much. When you have a lot of high salary seniors, the company's labor costs explode. So they stop hiring young people. And that's how an organization ages from inside out. No young energy, no new ideas, and no future. Personally, I'm 41-year-old guy, middle-aged junior IT engineer, but I don't deserve my promotion. And you know why? I'm gonna have to put too much responsibility, duty, heavy workload on myself and get little paid if I get promoted to a senior IT, for example. Look at my manager. She's such a hard worker as Elon Musk. She works too much workload, yeah, and she does too much household at the same time, but she gets little salary from the company. I don't want to be like that. Would you motivate yourself to be like that? Or even better? Hell no. I don't really make it a stupid excuse, but society stopped me moving forward. Now, combine lifetime employment and the seniority pay. And what do you get? A society that doesn't move. No one wants to quit. No one wants to take risk. Everyone just stay put. Meanwhile, the world keeps moving. AI, startup, remote work, global innovation. But Japan still stuck on Showa mode. Yeah, we are living in a Reiwa era now with a mindset from 1985. These systems ain't evil. I never say it's too bad. Yeah, they are brilliant in the 1960s and 1970s, but now they are outdated. The world changed, but our system didn't. So what should we do? Move from being protected to being chosen. The company should invest in people. Workers should keep running and moving. The government should support flexibility, not rigidity. Yeah, because true stability doesn't come from saying the same. It comes from being adaptable. Security feels good, but growth feels amazing. General ideas are something like that. I think it's up to you. There's a wide variety of work-life balance. If you want to employ it as a full-time, secured with social security, person and other social pensions and other social benefits, that's all good. If you are allowed it to work from home but get less paid than you expected, but as long as you are satisfied, that's also good. Myself, I work so hard as hell, but not as you do in a company. What I focus on my work is basically I engage in my side business when I being out of office. My annual income is nearly 6.5 million yen with bonus included at the moment, but my expectation is I want to earn above 10 million yen a year. Even if I keep working hard in the same company, I don't think I can reach my goal forever. So what I do is I make more money when I'm off of work. The easiest way is asset management, such as buy and sell stock, cryptocurrency, real estate, as well as YouTube activity that I'm doing right here. If you also intend to increase your annual income, you don't have to make a powerful step at once. Ask yourself, like, is this side business for extra money, future independence, or full career shift? How much time per week can you realistically invest in like 5 to 10 hours a week? You can just clarify your goal like that with numbers on a piece of paper if possible. Given your background, you can then choose the right type of business model and some side business ideas that fit you naturally. If you push yourself too much, I think you are failed. The only thing you are concerned about is you are afraid of taking a risk when investing too much time and money. Not to worry. You don't want to start things over from the beginning, okay? Just brush up your mindset with the spirit of Yamato. Optimize PDCA cycle from plan, do, check to act. You can do the repetition with passion. For those who still struggle to change your life, gain the spirit of Yamato. The term is coined with moral virtues of Japan, such as loyalty, sincerity, humor, and courage, and is close to connected to spiritual culture of Bushido and spirit of Sengoku period. If you are a Japanese freak, you must know it. Well, whatever the era is shifted from Showa, Heisei, Reiwa, we have to grow up our own body with a strong mindset. When you get aged physically and mentally, you still have to adapt yourself to a new environment. The world is already around the corner. New world. If you found this eye-opening, smash like button and subscribe for more deep dives into Japanese unfairness and society. Today, I talked about why Japanese salary is still too low, and more importantly, how we have to jump over the Great Wall. I hope today's presentation would help you a lot. Thanks for watching. Hey, thanks for watching today. If you found this video even just a little bit interesting, then don't forget to subscribe for more updates and turn on notifications. It's all free and you'll walk away smarter than yesterday. I hope you stay tuned and connected to my community. Plus, check out the videos right here on the screen. Just click and keep learning because knowledge is power. You deserve to have it. Thanks again for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Have a nice day and stay curious.